At 3 a.m., my phone buzzed with a message that was not meant for me. I almost ignored it. I was half asleep in my small apartment in Austin, Texas. The room was dark except for the streetlight outside my window. My heart was calm, my mind was empty, and I just wanted to sleep. But something made me reach for my phone. The message said, "I'm outside, I'm scared, please come get me." Under it was a location pin. I stared at the screen, confused. The name was unknown. No picture, no saved contact. Just a random number. I thought maybe it was a prank. Or maybe someone was drunk and texted the wrong person. I put my phone down. Then another message came. "Please, he's still inside." My chest tightened. I sat up in bed. The room felt colder suddenly. I looked at the location again. It was only 15 minutes from my place. A quiet neighborhood near Lake Travis. I typed back, "I think you have the wrong number." The reply came fast. "Ethan, please answer. I don't know what to do." My name is not Ethan. I should have stopped there. I should have turned off my phone and gone back to sleep. But I didn't. Something about the way she wrote felt real. Not like a joke, not like someone playing around. I called the number. She picked up on the first ring. I heard heavy breathing, then a soft voice. "Ethan?" "I'm not Ethan," I said quietly. "You sent this to the wrong number." There was silence. Then I heard her breath shake. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." She sounded young, maybe my age, maybe a little younger. Her voice was soft but tired, like she had been crying. "Are you okay?" I asked before I could stop myself. She did not answer right away. I heard a door close in the background. Then she whispered, "I thought my boyfriend was coming. I think he left. I'm outside his house. I don't feel safe." I rubbed my face with my hand. This was crazy. I did not know her. She did not know me. "Do you have someone else to call?" I asked. "No," she said quickly. "My mom is asleep. I don't want to worry her." The street outside my apartment was silent. My clock said 3:08 a.m. I could still hang up. I could still walk away from this. But I imagined her standing alone in the dark, maybe crying, maybe scared. "Where are you exactly?" I asked. She told me the street name again. A quiet road with big houses and long driveways. I grabbed my keys before I could change my mind. "I'll come," I said. There was a pause. "You don't even know me." "I know," I replied, "but you shouldn't be alone." The drive felt longer than 15 minutes. My hands were tight on the steering wheel. My mind kept asking what I was doing. What if this was a setup? What if someone was waiting there? But when I turned onto her street, I saw her right away. She was sitting on the curb near a mailbox. Her knees were pulled close to her chest. Her long brown hair covered part of her face. She wore a light sweater and jeans. She looked small in the wide, empty street. I parked slowly and stepped out. She looked up when she heard my car door close. Her eyes were red and shiny under the streetlight. She stood up quickly, like she was ready to run. "I'm not Ethan," I said softly as I walked closer. "I'm Ryan." Quote. She stared at me for a second. Then she let out a breath like she had been holding it all night. "I'm Lily," she said. Her voice was calmer now, but her hands were shaking. I noticed how beautiful she was, even with messy hair and tired eyes. Not in a loud way. In a quiet way that made my chest feel warm. "Are you okay?" I asked again. She nodded, but did not look convinced. "He told me to come over." Then he stopped answering. I think he was with someone else. I waited outside for an hour. Anger rose inside me for a guy the first did not even know. "That's messed up," I said. She gave a small, sad smile. "Yeah." The night air felt cool around us. The houses were dark. No one else was outside. "Let me take you home," I said. She hesitated. "You're a stranger." I smiled gently. "So are you." For a second, we just looked at each other. Then she nodded. The drive to her house was quiet. She gave me directions in a soft voice. I could feel the tension slowly leaving her body. I kept my eyes on the road, but I was aware of her beside me. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear, the way she glanced at me like she was trying to figure me out. We pulled into a cozy house with white walls and a small front porch. A light was on inside. "My mom must be awake," she whispered. I parked and turned off the engine. "Thank you," she said, turning to me. Her eyes looked different now. Less scared, more curious. Before I could answer, the front door opened. A woman stepped out. She looked worried, but strong. She had Lily's eyes. "Lily," she called softly. Lily got out of the car quickly. I followed, not sure if I should stay or leave. Her mom walked toward us. She looked at me carefully. "Who is this?" she asked. Lily looked at me, then at her mom. "He's not Ethan," she said quietly. "He's the one who came instead." Her mom's face changed, confusion, then surprise. "You drove her home?" she asked me. "Yes, ma'am," I said. She studied me for a long moment. The porch light made everything feel brighter, more real. "It's late," she finally said. "You can't drive back right now. It's not safe at this hour." I shook my head. "I'll be fine." She stepped closer. Her voice became softer but firm. "Please, stay the night." I looked at Lily. She was watching me like she was hoping I would say yes. I did not plan to say yes, but the way Lily looked at me made it hard to walk away. Her eyes were no longer scared. They were soft, almost shy, like she was hoping I would stay but did not want to ask herself. The night felt quiet around us, and the porch light made everything feel warm and close. Her mom folded her arms gently and said, "You helped my daughter tonight. The least I can do is make sure you get home safe in the morning." I nodded slowly. "Okay." Just for a few hours. Lily let out a small breath that sounded like relief. I followed them inside. The house smelled like vanilla and fresh laundry. It felt calm, like the kind of home where people talk at the kitchen table and laugh in the living room. There were family photos on the walls. Lily as a little girl. Lily at a school dance. Lily with her mom at the beach. Her mom introduced herself as Karen. She spoke in a steady voice, but I could tell she had been worried. She told Lily to go change and wash her face. Lily looked at me one more time before walking down the hallway. That look stayed with me. Karen led me to the kitchen. She poured me a glass of water and sat across from me at the table. The clock on the wall said 3:41 a.m. "You don't look like trouble," she said calmly. "But I need to ask, why did you come?" I did not have a perfect answer. I just told her the truth. She sounded scared. Karen watched me closely. Most people would have ignored it. I shrugged. I almost did. She nodded slowly. "Lily trusts too easily. That boy she went to see tonight has hurt her before." I felt my jaw tighten again. Then she deserves better. Karen gave me a small smile. Maybe she does. The hallway light turned off, and I heard soft footsteps coming back. Lily walked into the kitchen wearing loose gray sweatpants and a simple white shirt. Her hair was brushed now, falling neatly over her shoulders. Without makeup and without tears, she looked even more beautiful. She sat beside me instead of across from me. Our arms almost touched. I could feel the warmth from her skin. "Mom, you don't have to question him like that," she said softly. "I'm not questioning him," Karen replied. "I'm thanking him." Lily looked at me and smiled. "Thank you." The way she said it felt different this time. Not rushed, not scared, just real. Karen stood up. "I'll get the guest room ready." When she left the kitchen, the house became quiet again. Lily looked down at her hands for a moment. "I'm embarrassed," she said. "You shouldn't be." I waited outside his house like an idiot. "You trusted someone," I said. "That's not stupid." She looked at me slowly. "You don't even know me, Ryan. I know you were alone and needed help." She studied my face like she was trying to understand something deeper. "Do you always answer random messages at 3 a.m.? she asked. "Not usually," I said with a small smile. "You're special." The words came out before I could stop them. I felt my face grow warm. She laughed softly. It was the first real laugh of the night. Special in a good way, I hope. "In the best way," I replied. Her smile faded into something softer. "Ethan was supposed to be serious about me. We've been on and off for a year. Tonight he said he wanted to talk about our future. Then he disappeared." "You deserve someone who shows up," I said quietly. She looked at me like that sentence meant more than I planned. Like you did, she whispered. Our eyes held each other for a second longer than normal. I could feel something shifting. The night that started with fear now felt full of something warm and new. Karen came back and told me the guest room was ready. It was a small, cozy room with a soft bed and a window that faced the backyard. She handed me a clean towel and told me to rest. Lily stood at the doorway while her mom walked away. "Good night," she said softly. "Good night." She hesitated, like she wanted to say something else, then she stepped closer. "I'm glad it was you who answered," she said. Before I could reply, she leaned forward and wrapped her arms around me. The hug was gentle at first, then tighter. I could feel her heartbeat against my chest. I slowly placed my arms around her too. She fit perfectly there, like we had done this before. After a few seconds, she pulled back. Her cheeks were slightly pink. "Sorry," she said. "I just felt safe." "You don't have to apologize for that." She gave me one last look and walked back down the hallway to her room. I lay down in the guest bed, staring at the ceiling. My mind replayed everything. The message. The drive. Her eyes under the streetlight. The way she hugged me. I told myself this was just a strange night. In the morning I would leave. She would go back to her life. I would go back to mine. But deep down, I felt something else. I felt like this was not random at all. Around 4:30 a.m., I heard a soft knock on my door. I sat up. "Ryan?" Lily's voice whispered from outside. My heart started beating faster. "Yes?" The door opened slowly. She stepped inside, holding her pillow against her chest. "I can't sleep," she said quietly. "Can I stay in here for a little while?" Quote, when Lily stepped into the room holding her pillow, my heart started beating so loud I was sure she could hear it. The house was silent. The world outside felt far away. It was just the two of us and the soft yellow light from the hallway. "Yeah," I said gently. "Of course." She closed the door behind her and walked closer to the bed. She looked nervous but calm at the same time, like she had made a choice and did not want to turn back. "I know this is weird," she said quietly. "You're still a stranger." I sat up and leaned against the headboard. "It is weird," I admitted, "but tonight has already been weird." She smiled at that. Then she sat on the edge of the bed, leaving a little space between us. She placed her pillow in her lap and looked down at it for a moment. "I keep thinking about him," she said softly. "Not because I miss him, but because I can't believe I let him treat me like that again." Her voice was steady, but I could feel the hurt behind it. "You wanted him to choose you," I said. She looked up slowly. "Yeah." The way she said it made my chest ache. I understood that feeling. Wanting someone to choose you and feeling small when they don't. "You deserve someone who doesn't make you wait outside in the dark," I said. She turned her body slightly toward me. "Why do you keep saying that?" "Because it's true." She studied my face like she was searching for something. "You really think that?" "I know that." Her eyes softened. The tension in her shoulders slowly faded. For a few minutes we just sat there in silence. Not uncomfortable, just quiet. I could hear her breathing. I could feel the warmth of her body close to mine. "I'm glad it wasn't Ethan," she said suddenly. I felt my throat tighten. "Yeah?" "If it was him, I would have gone back. I would have believed whatever excuse he gave me." She paused and looked at me. "But it was you." The way she said it made my heart race again. "Maybe that's a good thing," I said quietly. She nodded. "It feels like one." She shifted closer without even thinking about it. Our shoulders touched now. The contact felt soft but electric at the same time. "Are you scared?" I asked gently. She shook her head. "Not with you." Those words hit me deeper than she knew. She leaned back slightly and rested her head against the wall. After a second, she slowly lowered her head onto my shoulder instead. I froze for half a second, then relaxed. Her hair brushed against my neck. It smelled like clean soap and something sweet. "I don't usually do things like this," she whispered. "Me neither." She laughed softly. "You answered a random text at 3 a.m. That's not normal." "Maybe I was meant to." She lifted her head and looked at me again. Her face was close now. close enough that I could see the tiny freckles near her nose. "Do you believe in that?" she asked. "Things happening for a reason?" I didn't before tonight. Her hand slowly moved from her pillow to the bed between us. Her fingers brushed against mine by accident. Or maybe not by accident. Neither of us pulled away. The touch was simple, just fingers barely touching. But it felt strong, like something was starting right there in that quiet room. "Ryan," she said softly. "Yeah?" Quote, "What if this is just because I'm emotional tonight?" "It might be," I said honestly, "but that doesn't make it fake." She looked at me for a long second. Then she moved her hand fully into mine. Her fingers fit perfectly between mine, warm, steady. "I don't feel scared anymore," she said. "I'm glad." She took a slow breath. "When I was sitting outside his house, I felt stupid. I felt like I wasn't enough. But when you showed up, it felt like maybe I am enough, like someone would come for me." Her words made something shift inside me, strong and deep. "You are enough," I said firmly, "more than enough." Her eyes filled slightly, but she did not cry this time. Instead, she smiled, a small, real smile. "Thank you," she whispered. The room felt smaller now, warmer. Without thinking too much, she leaned closer. Our faces were inches apart. I did not want to rush anything. I did not want to take advantage of a girl who had a bad night. But the way she looked at me did not feel confused. It felt sure. "I'm not thinking about him right now," she said softly. "What are you thinking about?" "You." My breath caught. She moved slowly, giving me time to stop her if I wanted to. I did not. Her lips touched mine gently, soft, careful. It was not wild. It was not rushed. It felt like a question. I answered by kissing her back just as softly. Her hand tightened slightly in mine. The kiss lasted only a few seconds, but it felt like much longer. When we pulled apart, her forehead rested against mine. "This is crazy," she whispered. "Yeah," I agreed, "but it feels right." I could not argue with that. We stayed like that for a while, just close, just breathing together. After a few minutes, she pulled back slightly. "I should go back to my room," she said quietly, "before my mom wakes up." I nodded, even though part of me wanted her to stay. She stood up slowly. Before leaving, she leaned down and kissed my cheek. "Don't disappear in the morning," she said. "I won't." She gave me one last look and slipped out of the room. I lay back down, staring at the ceiling again. But this time, everything felt different. This was not just a random message anymore. This was something real. And I had no idea what morning was going to bring. I barely slept after Lily left the room. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt her lips again. I felt her hand in mine. I kept thinking about how fast everything had changed in just a few hours. At 3 a.m., she was a stranger. By 4 a.m., she was someone I could not stop thinking about. Around 8 a.m., soft sunlight came through the window. I sat up slowly, trying to remember where I was. Then it all came back. I checked my phone. No new messages, no missed calls, just silence. I stepped out of the guest room and walked down the hallway. I could hear voices in the kitchen. Lily and her mom were talking softly. When I walked in, Lily looked up first. For a second, we just stared at each other. She was wearing light blue jeans and a soft pink sweater. Her hair was tied back in a loose ponytail. She looked rested, but her eyes still held something deep, something new. "Good morning," she said gently. "Morning." Karen smiled at me and placed a plate of pancakes on the table. "I hope you're hungry." I thanked her and sat down. Lily sat across from me this time. The table felt smaller than it did last night. Karen talked about simple things, the weather, work, normal morning topics. But I could feel something under it. She was watching us, watching how we looked at each other. After a few minutes, her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and stood up. "I have to take this," she said as she walked into the living room. The second she was out of sight, Lily looked at me. "Did you mean it?" she asked quietly. "Mean what?" "That you wouldn't disappear." I did not even hesitate. I meant it. She studied my face carefully, like she was checking for doubt. She did not find any. I woke up and thought maybe you would leave before I came out, she said. Like maybe last night was just a dream. It wasn't. She looked down at her plate for a second. Ethan texted me this morning. My chest tightened, but I kept my voice calm. What did he say? He said he fell asleep, that he didn't see my messages. I waited. She looked back up at me. For the first time, I didn't feel anything when I read it. Those words hit me harder than I expected. What are you going to do? I asked. She smiled slowly. Nothing. The way she said it felt strong, not angry, just done. I don't want to keep running back to someone who makes me feel small, she said softly. Last night showed me something. What did it show you? That someone can show up, even if they weren't supposed to. Her eyes locked on mine. Karen walked back into the kitchen, and Lily leaned back in her chair. But the look between us stayed. After breakfast, I stood up and grabbed my jacket. I should head back, I said. Karen nodded. Thank you again for last night. It was nothing, I replied. It wasn't nothing, she said firmly. You did something most people wouldn't. Lily walked me to the front door. The morning air felt fresh. The sky was bright blue now. Everything looked normal. Like the night had never happened. But it had. We stood on the porch facing each other. So, she said softly. So, I echoed. For a second, neither of us knew what to say. Are you free tonight? She asked suddenly. My heart jumped. Yeah. Then let me send you the right location this time. I laughed softly. I'd like that. She stepped closer. This isn't just because I was upset, she said. I thought about it this morning, about you, about how I felt safe, about how I felt seen. You were seen, I said. She reached up and lightly touched my chest, right over my heart. I want to see where this goes, she whispered. So do I. She leaned up and kissed me again. This time, it was not careful or unsure. It was confident, warm, real. When she pulled back, she smiled in a way that made my whole body feel light. Tonight, she said. Tonight? I agreed. I walked to my car and got in. As I drove away, I looked in the mirror and saw her still standing on the porch, watching me leave. A random message at 3 a.m. A wrong number, a night that could have been ignored. But instead, it became the start of something neither of us expected. And this time, I knew exactly where I was going.